Somewhere along the way, the big platforms moved in. Last year, $200 billion flowed upwards, away from the people who actually play. This year, they take it back. YOM, where players play games straight from your PC, not a data center in Virginia. Meet Tyler Pemberton. Yes, this looks dramatic, but he's perfectly fine. Tyler's offline. His PC isn't. 47 players streaming from his GPU right now. Even AFK, Tyler's rig is pulling its weight. He's making money in his sleep. Maybe this is what happens when gamers finally take control of their own world. Turn your idle GPU into passive income. YOM.net. Eat, sleep, earn, repeat.
Hey everybody, I'm gonna get myself on screen and take this thing off screen. Hey everyone, welcome to it. Another YOM Town Hall. Excited to share with you some of the big updates. We've got a lot. I roped in our CTO Rohan, and that's going to be, there's a lot to talk about because we've done a lot in the last few months that we haven't really been able to talk deeply in the town hall about. But real quick, while we wait for some people to join the town hall, let me just go over a few of the housekeeping things. Once again, I'm in the bullseye for winter weather, which is crazy for the region of the country that I'm in. This time, not ice, thankfully, but they are saying snow to the point it could be a blizzard. Blizzard because of like a lot of wind coming our way. So I might be snowed in again tomorrow. That's something else that not for you guys to care about, but it is kind of concerning for me because I'm just not enjoying the cold weather. I've got a stack of Walter images. I'm going to bring them up. You probably saw in the timer, the one that's it really kind of caught my attention. I thought it was a very well done homage to gaming and our YOM mascots. Let me do this real quick again. So we brought Terrors, gave us this one here. Like it a lot. I mean, it's very Walter-esque, and certainly he is playing games on his rig. But again, for us, YOM is more about earning money with your rig as much as it is gaming. Tank Carmela gave us this one here. Very cartoony, very fun. Let me zoom in a little bit. I like it. Although, again, just a reminder, Walter is rust-colored, not gray, your normal gorilla. Something's going on with the hands here, Vito. I appreciate it. I don't know what to make of those hands. They kind of freak me out a little bit, but it's great. We appreciate it. But Bruno BN set just kind of crushed with this one. I thought this image is just too dang funny. So he's our winner for this week. Again, if you want to drop in your own Walter image into our Telegram group, we'll drop more chances for you to do so because we just like to collect these during the week. Let me go to our Mindshare board and share with you the leaders in our, we have a new leader this week. Let's bring this up over here. I realize I'm doing this and I'll do that there so I can show up. Oh, let it flop. This is what I want. All right. So a new leader in our leaderboard, EJ. EJ has crushed it this week. He is ahead on all of our community shares. If you're not following EJ, he has EJ Meta X on X, and you're going to see that he's doing things like promoting this town hall. Appreciate it, EJ. And then talking also about just the idea that you are going to be earning passive income with the YOM node. He's got a great account. It's some fun stuff going on there. So thanks, EJ. Appreciate it. And then wanted to go over some numbers with you as well. We have, we have this the community. You shouldn't feel bad if you're not in the lead or if you're not like in the top 10. We've got over 54,000 daily active users on our community page like that, which has been tremendous for us. I mean, we're super appreciative. It's generated 400,000 posts and 4.9 million impressions on X. It's just massive. I mean, we've been super satisfied with the amount of people who are getting to hear what it is that we're making at YOM. If you've not actually caught up with who YOM is, if this is the first time you're hearing about us and tuning in, YOM is a decentralized cloud gaming network. We allow games to be streamed, AAA quality games like that, like your high-powered games, be streamed from our network to any user through the web browsers. So you don't have to have the big gaming rig to play the games. You don't have to you don't have to pay a subscription price or anything like that. You just go to a website and start playing these high quality games. If you're a game publisher or game distributor, it's the best way to get your game into the hands of all these players. Because again, you're not they're not gated by having to have a subscription or having the heavy equipment, because they can play on a laptop. All the computing is done on our gaming network, and we're 95% cheaper than having a centralized gaming server. Like if you're using Amazon already to host your cloud gaming needs, it's just too expensive to do. That you're getting priced out by AI, and your gaming your games being streamed from a data center that could be far away from the end user, so that introduces lag. We use local computers close by to the end user through our decentralized gaming network. And if you have a gaming rig at home and you wanted to earn passive income, there's a way to check on our website to see about what you'd be earning. But you put your gaming rig up on our network when you're not using it, and we pay you passive income to allow us to use your rig, your hardware, to stream games to the end user. There's so much more to it than that, but that is the quickest overview of it. But again, we're getting so much attention from all these different people who are sharing our posts and part of our community contest and everything. My Telegram is getting bombarded by people who want to help promote the project, which is great. Now we have limited availability to even just to answer all these requests. So if you are reaching out to us to say, hey, I'd like to help you promote YOM, don't wait for us. Don't wait for us to say go. Just go ahead and start promoting us. We appreciate that. If you're looking for a stronger partnership, it's going to take us some time to get around to all these people who are reaching out to us. But one last number I want to share with everybody. So as I said, if you're curious to see if you've been making money, passive income, we have what's called a rig check on our website. So if you go to yom.net and go to the nano section, there's a button there to test what your earnings might be. It's called a rig check. And what it'll do is you put this app on your rig. It'll test your speed and your graphics power, because it depends on how much your upload speed is and how powerful your graphics card is. You could be hosting 2 streams at the same time. You could be hosting up to 8 streams at the same time if your GPU is bigger. And the more streams you host, the more your earning could be. There's also a measurement for like how many hours a day do you think you'd leave it up. Some people are putting their older gaming rigs online and running them 24/7. Other people are just doing it when they go to bed at night or they go to work. So that'll obviously affect how many gaming hours you can stream, which will affect your income per month. Whew. So that's an overview. That's a bit of what's going on inside the community circle. I have a couple of industry things I wanted to touch on, because we generally try to keep our fingers on the pulse of what's going on in the cloud gaming world. Let me bring this article. Actually, I'm going to bring it up over here. And again, I don't mean to pick on Microsoft, but I'm going to pick on them because it's just, I don't know, they're my favorite whipping boy. So this came out, and I want to credit Tom Warren. Let me share my screen here. Tom Warren is an editor at Notepad, and he wrote. He's covers Microsoft for a lot of the things that they do, but their earnings for cloud compute has gone up. Their gaming earnings has gone down, and I think that's so. The first headline made me think, oh, they're talking about cloud gaming, but they're not really. They're saying that the cloud earnings have gone up. There are people using cloud storage and using cloud compute, but their gaming, their Game Pass is down at least 5%. They're really not releasing any longer. I like how he says it here. Unsurprisingly, Microsoft isn't giving an update to the Game Pass subscriber numbers. They know that they had a drop when they raised the price from $20 to $30, but they don't want to tell us exactly how much it's dropped. But they are saying again that their revenue, and the other thing part about this too is Xbox hardware is down because people are just not going out and buying the hardware anymore. which all points towards the power that cloud gaming is going to have, that it opens the door for more gamers to play and for the publishers to reach more gamers because you're going through a URL. What I also wanted to kind of point out in this article, it says that Microsoft is now, publishing more games on in the PS5 and the Nintendo systems. They don't want to. I mean, they've got these exclusive games, and for a long time they said, well, we'll make our game exclusive to the Xbox. That way you have to buy an Xbox to play them. Now they're realizing, well, that kind of slows down sales, and we actually want to reach people who are also on the PlayStation. So they're opening it up to more of their games that they were Xbox exclusives have now gone to the Sony system. Again, just pointing out further that the gaming industry is realizing that they've got to open up the door to any player they can possibly reach in order to stay viable. The other thing I'm going to point out real quick, I'm not going to go over it too deeply today, because it just got dropped into my lap about 30 minutes before the stream, but I am going to go into it deeper, and then I'll talk to you guys all about what this, maybe next week I can go through it all. This is the Boston Consulting Group have dropped a big presentation about platform gamings and what's going to spark the next era of growth for games. What was immediately called to our attention is cloud gaming's compounding the growth rate is projected to go up to 69% between 2025 and 2030. We agree. I mean, we think that everyone realizes that the best way to do this is to do it through a cloud. The problem is those centralized clouds, they have latency and they have cost. With our decentralized cloud, we beat both of those things, again, because of our decentralized network. All right. I went through that really fast. And again, I know that I have a speed talk thing anyways, but part of me went through that fast because I wanted to get to Rohan, and I'm going to bring Rohan up right now. So our CTO, Rohan, his time is valuable, and I keep on digging into it by having you come to these things. But hey, Rohan, how are you today?
Good. Thanks for the invite, Jeff. Really excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to you again. Now, we talk every morning at the stand-up and everything, and I'm always very interested to see what's going on in the tech team. I would say, for me, it's a toss-up. Who's busier, you or Yorit? I can't really say because you guys are both super busy, but you got a whole team that you're coordinating, and the whole tech team, and keeping their backlog organized and getting the tasks out to everybody. So I might say you edge him out just a little bit for that reason.
No, I won't say that. I think we are equally busy, but in different kind of domains and streams. So he's more focused on, let's say, fundraising strategy and all. And then he gives kind of, says, okay, what we want to build. And then, we kind of, execute his vision. So that's where I am busy in. So, and then we also talk a lot about tech and all. So he does that and a bit discussion on the tech as well. So I would say he's more busy than me.
Okay, maybe. But you're up. I mean, I see you online sometimes at got to be like midnight, 1 o'clock your time, and still working. So I know that you're very busy as well. But I appreciate you spending time, and let's get the community updated on some of the stuff.
Yeah.
So what do you want to hit first? You want to hit the bridge first, because that's kind of been announced already. People are already using it.
Yeah. So had a lot of discussions internally, and then we, I think Yurit and you guys came up with a lot of options on, depending on what the progress was with different kind of exchanges and all, what's the best to do. And then the tech team was then busy with now we need to implement all these features that we have kind of communicated. So the bridge it started with a simple thing, but then it is also a sensitive data, right? So we wanted to keep it more on the security side as well. Log in with your wallet, and then you kind of authenticate yourself, and then you cannot see any other data as well. So all these things we kind of tested as well, and then you as well tested last week, and then found a couple of issues there. But we managed to release it before time. I'm yet to breach my transactions, but I'll do that soon.
This is for anybody who was around, had the YOM, the Solana, when the YOM token was on Solana in the previous company, and when we formed the new version of YOM, we said, well, let's try to open the doors for that community and bring them with us. So we opened up the door when we were going to migrate to Peak. Then we realized that Avalanche is a better fit for us. So this bridge, for people who took the Solana token over to Peak, it's for anybody who's made that bridge, and then we realized, no, actually the bridge is going to go instead to Avalanche, and there's going to be some conditions that the centralized exchanges we're talking to have put on us. That's the reason for the second bridge. So if you don't own any of the original Solana YOM token that you bridged over to Peak, then this whole conversation does not really pertain to you. But it is for people who have done the bridging. And I think everybody in our community who's part of it already knows that we've gone live with this.
Yeah,
We did announce a close date for that. I probably want to make sure this is known too. The bridge closes on the 11th of February. Originally, we said we're going to close it 7 days before TGE. But before anyone starts jumping up and down cheering that the 18th is TGE, that is not true. We're closing it on the 11th to give us enough time to for all the things that the centralized exchange that we're talking with have to accomplish. They wanted it closed, and we felt like the 11th gave enough time for everybody. The actual TGE date is still not announced yet, so please, it's Q1, but we don't have a date in pen yet.
Yeah. Also, the good thing about the bridge is also like looking at the data that we have, like a lot of people are holding to the token, so which is really positive. Really happy with that as well.
Yeah. The vast majority are holding on. That's great.
Well,
good. All right, what do you want to hit next with the mindshare?
Yeah. So I mean, the tech team was also busy building the mindshare portal as well as part of our marketing thing. So we are working with different agencies. So one of the thing was the mindshare. So that involved also a bit of like integrations, third-party integrations and all. And I think it is really working really well with rewards and all, and then the winners and all that you are announcing. And I see a lot of posts as well, quality posts as well have gone up. So this tool is really helpful.
Yeah, I like that. Mindshare does they put a lot of effort into making sure that it's not something that's botted. It's not something that you can just shield to do. It's about the quality of the posts. I think that it must maybe you know more about this than I do, but it must use some AI to actually read the post, make sure that they've got some depth to them, some value, and it grades them in that way. Is that not correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it looks at that as well. And I'm also trying to compete, but looks like I'm not anywhere.
So if you're responding to our tweets, or if you're tweeting about YOM yourself, know that the contest is really looking at how much do you understand what the project is. Now, are you putting out full information, or are you just quickly just giving a thumbs up and moving on? Because that's not going to raise you in the leaderboard. The leaderboard really is about getting the information out there. We think we've got a great project. We think we're going to be super helpful to the industry, and I think we're finding that there's a lot of people who are promoting us who are saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. And I'm going to open while you go to the next one, I'm going to make sure that my chat is open so I can see it. Sorry if you guys have been asking questions. I skipped right through. We're going to have a section for questions at the end, but I'll keep this open. All right. What do you want to hit next?
Yeah, would like to maybe mention about a few updates that we have pushed on our Node dashboard. So people who already are part of our testnet, one of the things that we observed is that, when they want to use their machine, right, they had to shut down it in a way instantly, right? So there, if a player is playing a session, then that kills the session as well. So for that, what we worked on is that a scheduled shutdown feature that we kind of implemented, where from your Node dashboard, so let's from your mobile itself, you log in into your wallet, you should see your Nano, and then from there you can say, I want to do a scheduled shutdown at 6 p.m. when I return from the office, so that I can play games. So you can do it anywhere and schedule it, and then your Nano shuts down at 6 p.m. So I think this was in a way much awaited feature, and then and I think our testnet folks also have tested it. So I think it's very useful. And the next upgrade that we are going to do as well is that we are also going to show if there are any active sessions as well, so that we do not allow them to shut down.
It's a question that we get asked often when we would discuss like what we were building, what the YOM network was, and the idea that people's home PCs are going to be the nodes for the network. A lot of times the questions was like, well, what happens if someone just disconnects, or how does a node operator disconnect so they can get their computer back? Yeah. We always knew in the design it would be some kind of scheduled shutdown, but now it looks like the team has found time in their backlog to get to it.
Yeah, and then we are also doing analyzing session lengths as well, right? So depending on the session length, we do not assign. So let's say if you said, 6 p.m. I want to shut down, right? But if a player, let's say, wants to connect to a game, which is let's say 20 minutes, that the average session length is 20 minutes. So then we do not assign that node as well, because it's already 15 minutes, more than 15 minutes. So then we do not assign that as well. So that calculation is already also made in our hypertext orchestrator, and then we try to find another node that the player can connect to.
Right. And this again plays into like, how many nodes do we really need to operate? Well, when you do that, when you ask that question, then we have to ask, well, what's the average time game length for each games that we have on the network, and then how many people are playing in that region? There's so much that goes on in the hyper.
Yeah.
But well, I know some of the team members who have been building that, and I know they're using AI to help them build it. But boy, that's a complex mathematical problem.
Yeah. It's an AI model that we're already kind of building data towards it, and then we are going to build an AI model based on that data. So yeah, it is an exciting challenge, I think, for next month or in March.
Is that, so I'm not a programmer, right? But I've worked with many of them over the years. But is the challenge? Do you have to let two different programmers argue? But no, I want to do it. No, I want to do it, because each one of them wants the challenge of figuring this out. Does that happen?
I think right now with AI, in a way, it happens because it is as long as let's say you understand what you want to do, and then okay, what repositories you want to work on, then it becomes okay, I can also do it, right? Earlier, like, we had different skill set. Okay, people work on the front end piece, and then the back end piece someone else. So after the AI API is implemented, then the front end dev can take over and then build the functionality. But with this AI and all, everyone is kind of a fully stacked developer, right? You just take what you need, take items from a clicker board and then start implementing. So
that explains why we're moving what appears to me to be so much faster than we did in the past. Is that now everyone can be considered a full stack developer because they've got the AI kind of balance it all out.
Yeah. And we have a lot of the whole pipeline is kind of defined, that we have kind of AI generated code reviews as well, and then that code reviews are also reviewed and then auto implemented as well, and then it again goes through another pass through, and then we deploy it on our devnet. We test things on our devnet and then push it onto our testnet. So
nice. All right. Well, I went sideways on us. Sorry.
Like, we are talking about AI, right? So one thing that we kind of also built is an AI dashboard as well. So what was happening is that we build a lot of features, right? And then then we don't know, okay, what kind of report that we need, because some report might be needed by the marketing team, some internally for us to review. So what we did is, okay, we made best use of the AI. So we kind of linked our kind of back end, and then linked it to one of the AI models that we use, and then built a kind of a chatbot kind of system where you query, okay, this is what I'm looking at. So for example, rig check, right? Okay, so last month, 1 month, how many rig checks was successful. So rather than building a report or something new information, right, that we want to see, so we just query in plain English language, and then we get different graphs, charts, text, and also. So this was also an interesting challenge because it was iterative as well. So you can also have follow-up questions as well. So it's just using like kind of a chatbot, but specifically, or ChatGPT or Claude, but specifically for our data.
But and the upside of that is, like, the biz dev team, when they're out talking to a new publisher that they haven't spoken to yet, and they might get asked an analytics question that we didn't make a graph for it, so they can just instead pop in, ask that question to this bot, and it'll answer it back to them.
Yeah, because you're still a startup, right? Like, like when I worked for corporates, it was like the whole chain was quite in a way smooth, right? Okay, where the product manager discusses with the other leaders, and then brings up, okay, this is the data that we want to look for, and then it comes with some PRDs, and then we look at the PRDs and build reports. This, with startup, it is nothing like that, right? Okay, so you build, and then you analyze, and then you kind of build reports, and then also you get another query, and then you try to build another report. So for that, I think the system is useful.
And it's funny, I was on Spaces with the Somnia team earlier today, and we were talking about working in a large corporation versus working in a startup, because I famously worked at Facebook for a little while, and the lack of the ability to be agile in those large corporations. They don't know to think, or they just can't move quickly into a new direction. Whereas
Yeah.
a startup like this, we can take a look at some data that just came in and go, you know what, this seems like it's going to have more interest for more people. I think the ad play was one. It was really
Yeah.
kind of came from the biz dev team and said, listen, the big thing for them is going to be the ad play. And so
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
were able to pivot and add that as a priority to our backlog.
Yeah. 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 Definitely. Yeah.
All right. You want to talk about the image to the nano, the updates?
Yeah, so I think this is also an important update where the team has been working very hard. So I think in one of your town halls you discussed more, about the security thing, right? So now since we are going to, ship nanos soon, and it is kind of, in a production, right? So not testnet where we do not need to sign NDAs, and also with the existing testnet users we've signed NDAs. So if you want to, roll the new nanos out, it has to be secure and safe as well. So the team has been working very hard. With different implementations. So in a brief, what we've tried in the new Nano OS is that we want to secure three places in a way. So one is YOM's IP. So the things are software which is deployed on the image on the SSD has to be protected, and then the other piece is the node operator's personal disk drive data. So we shouldn't be able to access, and no one, let's say if we are accidentally get hacked into the system, no one should be able to access personal drives as well. And then the third piece that we want to do is the game itself. So publishers who kind of would want to trust us, okay, like this is the game that we are sharing with you, and then upload it onto your network. So that as well now gets downloaded onto the disk, and then we also want to protect that as well. So these are the three important areas that we have focused, and then we are testing that image. It's at the final stage. So the plan is that we'll again test it, share it with our testnet users, and then once they kind of give share their feedback, and then we'll roll it out, and then start shipping nanos soon.
Yeah. It really is two big important pieces, right? The network, it's our own data being safe, the node operator's computer being safe, and the game data being safe. Those are three big things to conquer and to secure. Cool. Perfect way to announce all those things, or to walk through all those things. But the other part about the Pixel is the nanos is now we've got the universal pixel streamer.
Yes, yeah. Very excited about that also. Waiting for this announcement. Yeah. So finally, like I think in a lot of discussions or town halls, we've been talking about the V2 streamer, right? So today we have successfully deployed the V2 streamer onto a testnet. So what does V2 mean is that now publishers are not only using Unreal games, any other game engines can also be deployed onto our testnet. So one of the examples that you see right now on YOM.net is the game called 080. So that is not an Unreal based game. It is built by it's a custom game engine built by Wildfire Games. So really exciting. So now onto our network there are not only Unreal engine games, but there's also one more, and at this moment we are also trying another game as well that we'll, I think next week we will deploy.
Okay. Yeah. So this is big. I mean, there were a lot of people in the community asking me, like, when's V2 coming out? And with this universal pixel streamer, we've actually improved latency even over what we had before with the Unreal.
Yeah. That's crazy. So what we observed is like, okay, the latency has been decreased from 35 to 40 milliseconds to now around 15 to 20 milliseconds. So it is really crazy and super smooth. So there are, if you talk about latency, there are two pieces that we are checking. One is the network latency and one's the input latency. So the major improvement has been on the input latency because of the architecture that we have implemented. That now it feels like you're playing it natively. So I would ask community members to do check out our website and then try all the games and see how your experience is, particularly the input latency. The quality is also good. uh, yeah, and then we are also analyzing. So like past I think 10 days or so, we are testing it internally, and then uh, it has reduced by 15 to 20% the latency data. So really excited to announce this. It's a milestone. It's a major milestone. So I think when I showed it to you, right, to you guys, and John particularly. So after kind of the internal Counter Strike demo that I did, and then last week I demoed the universal streamer on YOM.net, and then he was like, okay, blown away. Say, okay, this is what I want. Now he's going to push very hard on the publisher, saying, okay,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah, so many of these things. I mean, it seems like a series of dominoes, and once they fall, then the floodgates kind of will be
Yeah.
roared open, right?
Yeah.
Well, there is. So that other game that we're talking about, we're deploying next week. Is that the plan?
Yes, yeah. So Yon at this moment is testing on DevNet, and then yeah. So that would be the third game that we launch on
Okay.
on our
Well, let's bring Rodrigo up and let's talk to him about Armor X and
Yeah.
and ad play and all these things.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Hello, guys. How are you? Glad to be here. And
good.
sorry about no cameras. I'm moving, and everything is on boxes that I don't know which box is what. And yeah, so the camera is missing for now.
That's okay. That's okay. So I know I'm in the Telegram group with you guys as you talk about passing bills back and forth and everything. How's the experience been with our tech team? You it seems like it's been very collaborative.
Oh yeah, pretty helpful. To be fair with you guys, Unreal has a lot of finicky things, building and making different versions for different operation systems. And not gonna lie, without the plugin also is a big help to make things work fine. And yeah, and to be fair, every time there is some things grounds being breaking on the tech side, it's never easy. It's never a easy and smooth ride. There's always some bumps, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty happy with how things are turning out.
How long have you been making games? Just out of curiosity.
Being working with Unreal for 5 years now. Yeah, I had some experiences with a lot of different builds, and pixel streaming is something that I tried before. I think I actually talked with you guys about this, and this is not me saying just because I'm here, but it is by far the best experience that I had with pixel streaming, because it's always hard, and there is limitations. That is physical limitations. Like we still don't have light speed technology for data transmission, so.
Right.
With the limitations that we have, the physical ones, it is by far the best workflow that I had.
Yeah, well, I was talking again earlier in the spaces earlier today, and they were asking like, why is it like, what's the big reason why the YOM network is different? And it has to explain, we're not the nearest Amazon hub for me is probably 3 states over, but if I can stream the game from a guy in the next city over. Everyone's kind of living pretty close to a city, then that's going to be much faster because the distance is just much less. And then on top of that, those data centers, they're not really built with gaming rigs. They're built with, they're built for storage. They're built for regular cloud compute, but gaming processing and with graphics processing, they're not generally made for it. Am I speaking out of my head? Ron, am I saying the right thing? Is that the way that you explain it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the distance is of course it takes, and the number of hops also you need to consider. So yeah, so the more near, the less hops, the latency definitely improves.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
With pixel streaming, I think the comment that Rodrigo made is like quite interesting. So I've got now same feedback with 3 different kind of studios that we've interacted with, right? So all of them were very excited about pixel streaming, right? Okay, they said okay, it's very good, and then they themselves have tried it, but no one kind of made it through that. Okay, it is in production. So everyone that sees with YOM that okay, now we can actually try this, and it is in production, we can play. So we're very impressed with it, right? So I'm happy to take this feedback as well, we're positively saying that that people have tried, but they think that it is complicated, it is way too much. It's not about just streaming a game, it is the whole kind of architecture that we've also went through, right, from centralized to now building decentralized. That is where the whole game is, and then to deploy, and then to do a lot of things like the host dashboard, to start game, stop game, everything, taking into account the electricity costs, the GPU as well. So it's not easy to build.
Rodrigo, talk to us a little bit about ArmorX. What is it exactly? What kind of game is it? And why did the team go pursue this kind of a game?
All right. So first things first is working. It's the third project from Triumph, our parent company, and is each project is a little bit different on its genre and always trying to fetch for different audiences. And we have Battle Rise running, a tactical fight on mobile, and Illumia, which is an MMO. It's I guess there's already on mobile. If not, I'm just spoiling a little bit here, but if it's not, it's gonna be soon. And Armor X is RPG, focusing on loot and build progression. So the idea that Triumph has is overall, and is something that we feel is lacking a little bit still, but the tides are changing, to be fair, which is Web3 games that focus more on the gaming side than the Web3 side.
Right.
It's the right kind of marriage that we feel it needs to happen, is having your assets there, the ability to even make some income or win some money, but the main focus always needs to be the game. It's the purpose is to have fun. Everything else is something that you have a second.
Yep, I think Triumph has got that right. I mean, it does seem like that was what was one of the things that kind of handcuffed the Web3 gaming space at the very beginning, was a lot of projects that got in for the Web3 side and not enough from the gaming side. But we are starting to see some of the traditional gamers kind of make their way into Web3.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to see more fun gameplay like you got in ArmorX coming out with other games that are around the corner.
Well, I like how the team has strategized this to start first with the game, and we implement the Web3 aspect after, and not the other way around, which is at least how I see it should be. And yeah, there's still a lot of ground to cover for MRX, but it is starting to get along a little better. We have a lot of other stuff that is still not on builds, but is being cooked on the outside. We're gonna get there, I'm sure, and yeah, happy to actually be using all the tech that we have for this, including YOM and all the Web3 parts. Is something that is very new in a way, so there is always a little bit of bumps to make sure that everything's done correctly, securely, and yeah, takes a little bit of time, but we're getting there.
Yeah. So as you speak, Rodrigo, sorry, Jeff, as you speak, the people are now actively playing, and then the latency that I see is 15 milliseconds. So yeah, it's really good.
People found it good. The other thing that ArmorX is that you guys are trying for allowing us to do is to use ArmorX for our ad play technology, right? This is a big piece for us, because as our biz dev team talks to publishers and things, one of the things the game publishers get very excited by is the idea that the game can be played on any website, including inside of an ad on any website or through an ad service. So you go to any kind of game review site, or even a game review article about the game itself, the game being able to run inside a web browser, like a demo of the game running, is the best way to advertise that game, right? It goes back to when they used to ship a CD-ROM with the PC Gamer magazine, right? That's what got players hooked, because they played a demo. So thanks so much again for letting us use ArmorX in this way.
Thank you. So guys, it's an honor to have it be played there, because the feedback is gonna be pretty useful for us. Having there is of course a lot more to come with the game, all the build aspects, the drop aspects, but having a demo of how the combat should feel, giving a general impression, it's actually very good for us to have this kind of feedback.
Actually, Rodrigo, you just mentioned something that it just popped in my head. I hadn't even thought of it that way. But you're right. This is better than just passing out the CD-ROM because we can capture, and we are capturing metrics for people who are playing. So we can see the drop, like when people drop off in a demo, like what about the demo keeps them hooked and make lasting longer? What about them frustrates them to the way they go away? And that information super helpful to the game developer as well, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like having a demo running with active people, real players that are not in any shape or form giving reviews that are biased for any reason. It's it's the dream. It's something that can be very useful to actually refining things to the better play style that we can.
Nice.
Yeah, our SDK does include all these features, right? So when you say, okay, when the let's say players reach certain milestone, you can push events and then have those data as part of your analytics as well. So you can hook in Google Analytics or use our own analytics and then view, okay, till where people reached and what was where was the drop off as well. So that thing is already built in our SDK.
Hey, Rodrigo, one of the things that I talked at the spaces I was in this morning, I say this often, and I'm curious. You've made games for 5 years. You will have a insight on this. You can tell me I'm crazy, or you can tell me that you feel like this sounds right. But to my mind, when we allow for the quick upload of your game to get live on our network and it's kind of posted inside any website or in social media, that to my mind will unlock a creativity wave inside of gaming where people will try new game mechanics that they otherwise would have been, it'd be too risky to try because it's just too expensive to do when you spend all that money to release. So my assumption is going to be that there are going to be more game genres created and subgenres created because there'll be more experimentation that takes place because of the ease of uploading a game to the network. Does that all ring true to you, or do you think I'm out of my mind?
I absolutely agree. I think it's gaming development is taking two routes right now, which is it sounds contradictory, but I don't think it is. Your AAA games are getting the biggest budgets ever. Like games are getting expensive by the minute. But on the other hand, making a game now is a lot more accessible than it ever was. So if we have big AAA games that are investing, like even GTA, for instance, like $1 billion in production, we have a big wave of indie and other small studios trying, and we see a lot of success, even with Expedition 33 and all the great indie games that are coming. And yeah, having a user platform for people to try stuff, to see different things, is definitely a great thing. Because again, easier to take to make games, and if you have an easier way to also reach the public for testing and getting feedbacks, it's amazing. As a dev, like I talk to a lot of other devs, and I have played games that are really great and never saw more than 10 players and ever, and they have like a lot of potential because uh, half of the things are marketing and putting your name out, and this is hard to do it, and it's expensive. So yeah, I agree 100% with you with this.
Nice. All right, good. I'm glad I'm not crazy. All right, well, cool. Well, they can find. So what should they do? Should they? It's triumph.io, right? I know that's where the website is. So people should go there. And then YOM.net has the game hosted. What else should they be doing, Rodrigo, to follow along with ArmorX?
I can always use Twitter. It's where we are. From there, we can always have links for Discord. But yeah, we have those 3 games running. Illumia and Battle Rise are a lot more advanced because they have been released and been devved for quite a while. ArmorX is the new kid in the block over here in Triumph. So yeah, it's nice to have some feedback and people playing, so we can, as we develop, we can try to find the best possible way to make the game run.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for joining us. I'll be cognizant of your time.
Thank you so much, guys. Honored to be here.
Yeah.
And hope we can talk a lot more and a lot more builds to come over Telegram.
Yeah, and games as well. Great. Thanks, Rodrigo.
All right, my dog just went a little bit nuts. Oops, I still got you here. There we go. Oh, yeah. All right. Hey, so we should take a look at some of these questions and see what people are asking us. Why don't you stick around? You got time,
Yeah.
Rob, for some questions?
Yeah.
Let's see what we got. What people are saying. Didn't miss a chance to comment. Understand the language. Boom. Here. Actually, I don't see it. So if you've got questions to ask Ron or myself, please drop them in the chats. I think I see chats from both Telegram and from YouTube. So if you're, I can see the YouTube logo. Yep, I do. I'm sorry, from both X and from YouTube. If you've got a comment, you can just drop it into the question spaces there. I got one question's coming up, and then I think next week we're going to I have another guest lined up. It's kind of a big deal too. I'm not going to announce it just yet. I want to make sure that I get 100% confirmation that they're going to show up. But that's going to be next week is going to be one to tune into as well. I might even rope Yord in too. Think about it.
Really cool.
When is the question is well, two questions. How much time do you sleep at night, Rohan?
Oh, I get enough sleep. So yeah, I mean, we discussed this in our office as well. So like my average is like 5 hours or so, like 5 to 6 hours. Yeah, and I automatically wake up after that. So this the cycle. I need to increase it, but maybe after March.
Okay. And then the other question is, when is the T1 exchange going to be announced? I mean, as soon as we get the deal inked, we'll be announcing which exchanges the TG will happen on. It's just a matter of getting every I dotted and T crossed. I mean, there's the amount of work that this is. Again, we talk about Europe being busy. This is where he's busiest, just like
Yes.
hammering all this stuff out.
Exactly.
So and EJ, who's the top of our leaderboard, says yo, and EJ, welcome to it. Thanks again for all your support. Appreciate everything you do.
Congratulations as well.
Yeah, congratulations on this week's win. See, 2 games got released on the YOM network today. When can we expect more?
One more next week.
Okay.
And then I think many more following weeks. I'm sure like Andy and the BizDev team is excited, and I see that they're also going to go to conferences as well. So so yeah, excited. I think so. It's now a matter of maybe you would ask, okay, how when are you going to scale the network, because now the games are, I think, already in line. So maybe a few updates or things that I would like to share is like the roadmap or next things that we are going to work on is like we want to release the new nano image out sometime next month, next month. And then as we prepare for all these nano, right, we need to make our whole system more robust and scalable as well. So and more tracking and analysis and logging that we want to do. And then the next piece that we are going to work on is the software without or the container based nodes that we want to deploy. So you don't need to buy let's say nano. So the flow that the marketing team is kind of is focusing on is, okay, people do rig check. If they're eligible, they just click a couple of buttons and then get onboarded within half an hour. So this is what the aim is. So with the container based approach, you would be online within half an hour, which means more players can play, and then there'll be more rewards, more on-chain transactions.
Yeah. I got a question that well, actually two more come in. Can you tell us more about the AVAX and YOM partnership? That one I'm going to hold in my pocket till next week, but I'm not going to tell you who the guest is next week, but I'm going to hold that question in my pocket till next week. And then how long does it take and how complicated is the deployment of a new game to the network? Go ahead, Ron. Want to take that one?
So I think it's pretty easy. So what we want is that, okay, the game that already studios are using for Steam, and also the first objective is, okay, the same game build, you give it to us, and then we deploy it. So the deployment takes so it's all as long as like we upload it, so maybe from half an hour to 1 hour. and then let's say a couple, half an hour more to download all the games onto the network. So let's say in couple of hours, the game is live onto the network. So that is the first thing that we look at. The second thing is that okay, if the game or the publisher needs certain features, let's say dynamic scaling or microphone support, then they need to integrate our SDK. So integrating our SDK is like 10 minutes of work. You just need to download our plugin, put it into the plugins folder, rebuild, and then share. So overall with the SDK integration is just couple of hours of work, and then the game is deployed.
All right, that's pretty. So I know that we spoke often in the early design phases of YOM that we wanted to make this as user-friendly as possible for both the players and for the developers. I talked about my experience in being a producer in a game studio, well, many different game studios, was that when you threw a new, if they came to me towards the end of the development cycle and says, oh, by the way, we're also launching on this platform, like I would lose my mind, because I have a schedule worked out for what you told me we're going to launch on. If you add a new one, this is too complicated it blows the schedule out.
Yeah.
So it was my urging, and I think you guys all read this pretty easily anyways, that we got to make it as easy as possible for the producers and the people who are responsible on the game dev side to make it very easy to game on the network. And I think you guys have excelled at that with this concept of, hey, it's just as easy as taking your build that you've done for Steam and put it on our network. That's just as easy. But then if you want extra added features, or if you have some complexity to your game, like a microphone, then you might have to put the SDK in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Being mindful of the producers, we all appreciate that. I think we got to the end of our questions, and it was a pretty good show. But 52 minutes, that's pretty good. We did pretty good.
Yeah, very good.
All right. Well, let's not make it so long before the next time. Actually, it wasn't that long ago, because I think you were on you were on the end of year wrap up, right? You were there for that one. So,
yeah.
And I'm sure I'll speak to you over the weekend, because I'm sure there's going to be some work going on over the weekend.
Sure. Yeah. I'm excited about the two games. We'll keep analyzing the data that we have.
Nice. Yeah. So go to YOM.net, everybody. Play those new games. Play the old games too. I mean, I still think that MVR that Roughneck Rumble is a fun experience.
Yeah.
Still have not beaten level 5 yet. You're still at the higher mark.
Yeah, and people would definitely notice the difference with this V2 streamer, particularly the MVR game as well. Right? So I played the same while on a video call without any input latency. Right? So it's crazy. Yeah. So
I gotta go play it. Like, see if I can get to level 5.
Sure. Yeah, beat it.
All right, thanks everybody. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Share the stream. Follow us on X and on YouTube. If you haven't done the rig check yet, jump into the rig check and check out your rig. See if the passive income is something that you could be earning. Check out the Armor X game. I'm going to make sure that I include all the links to Triumph and to the articles that I pulled up. I'll include those in the description for the video. So thanks again for tuning in. Be good to each other, and we'll see you again next week.